Mitchell Robinson is my favorite player on the New York Knicks. I truly believe whoever got him in the second round of the 2018 NBA draft got the steal of the draft. Now, Mitchell Robinson has put his name on the map. He broke a record of Wilt Chamberlain this season with his 74% field goal percentage. And if you break a record of Wilt, you are doing some good things in the league. Mitchell is 21 years old and he has a lot of time to improve on his game. Before I start this video, if you do like the video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a lot in supporting this channel. I do more player breakdowns like these on the channel and I'm aiming to hit 2,000 subscribers in the upcoming months. And any support in that is truly appreciated. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Mitchell Robinson is a bright spot on the New York Knicks and a building block for their future. Mitchell is a long center who covers a lot of ground and is extremely agile for a big. This season, he averaged 9.7 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks on 74% field goal shooting and 56% from the free throw line in 23 minutes a game this season. His true shooting percentage on the season is at 72%. Now, Mitchell's offense is still pretty raw. Majority of his points comes from dunks and layups or from running the break in transition and scoring. Occasionally at times he may shoot a hook shot, but it's a really small sample size. A rather interesting stat is that Mitchell has attempted 341 shots on the season and he attempted 210 dunks on the season. 61% of Mitchell's shot attempts are dunks, and he converts it at a good amount, 88% from there. 29% of his shots also comes from alley-oop situations and attempts as well. Then Mitchell attempted 121 layups this season, only making 61 of them, making his percentage 50% in layup shots. Not to mention, he is also working at times putting backup shots, tipping it back in. Mitchell's game is centered around the basket. He is a traditional center who covers a lot of ground. He isn't all too crafty or have advanced moves with his offensive game. What would probably be the best in his development is getting a hook shot and a jump shot so that he can stretch the floor a bit or go to it when he is working around the mid-range. He is a good finisher and he rarely misses shots in the restricted area. He shoots it at 75%, a great pick and roll guy in the modern day of basketball. And if he is matched with a specialist point guard in the pick and roll, it will be very deadly in the future. He hasn't attempted any threes or barely shots from the mid-range, so I can't measure him on that. Mitchell gets to the free throw line around twice a game and he shoots it at 56%. He is inconsistent from the free throw line, to put it nicely. He showed promise of improvement when the first few games of the season, but then he fell off and his free throw shooting has been up and down. He has to improve on converting his free throws because he's going to get smacked around a lot working down low. Now, Mitchell is a very good rebounder. He gets a good amount of defensive and offensive boards. Yes, he averaged 7 rebounds and that's okay, but not great for a center. But then again, look at his minutes, 23 a game. If he can play 30 minutes or more, he can easily be a walk-in double-double, and it's tough to rebound over him due to his size. Where Mitchell truly shines is on the defensive end, and he is one of, honestly, I would say the best shot blocker in the league. He is a 7-footer with long arms, 7'4" wingspan, and he has a very good instinct for a young player of blocking shots. His recovery time as a big is truly impressive. He can get beat by a player to the rim, but he doesn't give up and recovers quickly and is still able to perfectly time blocking a shot. He basically can close out and block a shot in any type of situation. Doesn't matter if a center is posting him up, a guard shooting over him, or someone trying to take it to the basket on him. He has good instincts and is able to block a shot in any situation. Then it's extremely scary how fast he is for a center that allows him to block and close shots out effectively. At times, it looks like he is a guard with how fast he is getting back on defense. He is still growing, but he is very capable of switching onto any player and defending them effectively. a rare trait in this league, and GMs are going to be looking for versatile centers in the future who can switch on anyone and guard them effectively. Then he has high pick and roll defensive IQ, and that is very much needed for a center in this day and age because that's an integral part in modern day offenses. His job becomes much more easier when matched on a center who can't shoot, and he can completely break up the pick and roll. The fact that he covers a lot of ground makes it extremely difficult for guys to score over him. But he is the best shot blocker in the league, and he gets a good amount of his steals picking off passes in the passing lane. The problem with Mitch at times is that he sometimes gets too excited. It's the Hassan Whiteside effect. And he is hungry, going for blocks a lot, and not realizing that his length can alter a lot of shots on its own. He bites on fakes, sometimes gets out of position a good amount of times, and overall he isn't disciplined too much. That's a main area of concern from him. He's not really disciplined defensively, and his foul shows for that. He can't stay in games because he commits a lot of fouls. He plays 23 minutes a game, and a good amount of games he plays in, he gets into foul trouble very early on. 3.2 fouls on the season, and again, coming from falling for pump fakes, much more skilled centers tend to take advantage of his young mistakes. He also has to bulk up a bit. Mitchell at times gets bumped out of position when guarding a much more physically dominant player, and that takes away from how he can protect the rim. At his peak, I can see Mitch being something close to, or at least being near the mold of a Rudy Gobert, a defensive plus but sometimes limited offensively. But he is still young. If he can stretch the floor out, develop a reliable three-point shot, he's going to be a very valuable piece to the New York Knicks, if not already. But all around, Mitchell has the mold to be a very good center in the league for the Knicks. He isn't going to be dribbling the ball, and honestly, I've seen tapes of him at practice dribbling and doing all these guard type moves. He isn't going to do that in the game. Andre Drummond tried to do that in Detroit, and it didn't work out. He's not going to do any Karl Anthony Towns type of moves, but he can be a very great switchable big who can rim protect and be a major lob threat.